Hey, this is BBC Six Music. I'm Russell Brand. I'm here with Karl Pilkington. We're standing for Nimone. She's gone away for a few days, so if you've tuned in particularly to listen to Nimone, don't be cross with us just for being here, because we're, after all, the ones that have stayed. You know, just wish Nimone a good holiday and enjoy the next 3 hours with us. We've got some wonderful tracks coming up. What's first, Karl?
I'll play one of these.
BBC Six Music.
That was The Cure with Close to Me. This is BBC Six Music. I'm Russell Brand here with Karl Pilkington. Just looking after the show, really, while Nimone has a little bit of a break. You know, she's just having, like, a holiday from radio. But, like, she only works 3 hours a day, doesn't she, doing this job? So how much can she be enjoying her holiday? It's only between 10 and 1 that she'll be thinking, oh, right, I'd be working now. Oh, but look at me, I'm just reclining here, not making any effort. Normally, I'd be toiling, having to press switches and talk about records and stuff. Like, but the holiday, she can't really appreciate the holiday much, because it's only 3 hours of a day that are actual holiday. It's not like she sort of works in a mine, gathering up things, or constantly listening, oh, that canary died yet. You know, she's really lives a relatively pressure-free life. But that's not to say, I'm not attacking Nimone. She does a lot of wonderful work. It's nice to, you know, get this opportunity to look after the radio show for her while she's away. It's just, I don't want that feeling of, like, being like a substitute teacher. You know, like, sort of if you have a substitute teacher in, to think, right, let's make things really difficult for this substitute teacher, grind them down. I suspect there's some vulnerability there. What we'll do is we'll destroy him, you know, sort of. I don't want to be looked on as that. I'm sort of like the parent that stayed in a divorce scenario, right? Sort of like, you know, sort of like when my dad left, when, like, you know, I'd give my mum hell sometimes. Really, she's the one that stayed, isn't she? Poor cow. She didn't need that kind of aggravation. Bless her heart. Here we've got Hardfire coming up now. Let's listen to that. We'll have a bit more chat. Give us a ring later if you want to. You can call 08700 100 600, 08700 100 600 for a bit of a chat, or you can send us a text or an email. But I'd prefer to talk in person. You know, it's nicer. You can hear people's vocal tones. Let's listen to Hardfire. Nirvana in Bloom. This is BBC Six Music. You'll listen to Russell Brand. This is like that weird purgatory week, isn't it, between Christmas and New Year's Eve? Well, because, like, when it's Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, then Boxing Day, then you've got New Year's Eve coming out. I sort of, like, I'm in that sort of weird hinterland where you forget what day it is. Like, I don't know what actual day it is. Days all get robbed of their meaning, don't they? Like, today definitely felt like a Sunday, I think. So that means, like, days have definitely got actual feelings. If today sort of felt like a Sunday, you thought it felt like a Sunday and all, Karl, didn't you?
What, today?
Today felt like a Sunday. If you had to sort of say, like, you know, you were just awoken from a coma, and you had to go, like, obviously you'd have other questions, first of all, like, why have you woken me so abruptly from this coma? But if, like, you were awoken from the coma, the first thing that goes is, what day do you think it is? Right, instead of going, well, surely, you know, you're the ones that have not been in comas. Forget that, you know, that this as a premise has got difficulties. You would say that, what did you say earlier?
Yeah, just sort of, yeah. But what, so are you saying if you put me in a room, right? And I was put in this room for whatever reason. I don't know why I was put in there, right?
Well, there's
but then I come out,
get you out of the way for a start.
Well, like, you know, so time's gone by.
Yeah.
I haven't got a diary on me, and a watch.
Yeah, and also you can't see the window. There's a windowless room, so you can't see night, day, and keep some sort of record. You're in a windowless room for a month.
Right. And
then, like, they let you out of that room, they go, what day is it? You know, I think you would intuitively know
that today was the day after Boxing Day.
I don't think you'd know it was the day after Boxing Day, but I think you'd go, I think you'd think that it was Sunday, like, you know, because days have flavours. That's what I'm saying, like, that days have flavours. You could say, oh, Wednesday, that's not got a particular personality, but it is different from a Thursday, isn't it? And I just think, like, that this Christmas period, Christmas Eve, it takes away, oh, I don't know what day it is, literally not knowing what day it is. Feel like an old person, do you know what I mean? Where, like, sort of got no routine.
Well, can't we get rid of this week, anyway? Just bin it.
What, just go, it's Christmas Eve, it's Christmas Day, it's New Year's Eve?
Yeah.
Well,
no, not even New Year's Eve. It's sort of like, you know, it's Christmas Eve, oh, it's really Christmassy in that. Oh, Christmas Day, oh, brilliant, look at me presents. Oh, it's a new year, let's get going. No. Why are we messing about for a week?
Well, because we have to stick to the calendar.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, though, bin it. We're moving on, everything's moving on. Why have we suddenly got this thing about sticking with a calendar?
Well, alright, there's the astronomical movements of planets, but there are people that suggest that we should move to a decimalised calendar, where it'd be 10 months a year, 10 days a week, 10 hours, like, everything would be just simplified like that. I mean, maybe, like, we could try that.
So they are gonna do it then?
Well, I don't think they do. I don't think there's any weight behind it. I don't think it's gonna be administrated, Carl.
Well, you just said they're thinking about it.
I'm saying it's a theory, it's a theoretical idea, like, you know, it's like, you know, if a tree falls down in the woods, no one's actually gonna ever, you know, we'll never know. It's just a theoretical notion, isn't it? It's not, well, this decimalisation is something that could get weight behind it if it had enough support. I mean, if people were going, yeah, we would like that. There's people that are dedicating their lives to it, saying, like, let's bring about
rid of this week.
Get rid of, they're not behind you on their getting rid of this week thing, but they think that we should decimalise everything. 10 hours a day, 10 days a week, let's live like that. Yeah, but then you'd have to think of whole new days. Oh, Monday, Wednesday, then you'd have to, looping day, you know, you'd have to think of new days, you know, it's gonna be difficult to initiate.
I don't understand why, it's getting a bit heavy, this, isn't it, for this time of night?
I'm just like, listen, Carl, I'm just like exploring some ideas. Perhaps let's reflect for a while. That's Black and White Town by Doves there. You're listening to BBC 6 Music. I'm Russell Brand. I'm here with Karl Pilkington. We're filling in for Namone. It's the 27th, Tuesday the 27th of December, although we're in that weird area where we don't quite know what day it is. It's the day after Boxing Day. I was just saying, like, there's people that say that we should decimalise the months and the calendar altogether, so it'd be 10 months a year, 10 days a week, 10 hours a day, I think, so that, like, you know, but Carl, we've got a problem with that as a system.
I don't quite understand, when you say 10 hours a day.
Yeah. I can see that's going to be difficult. I mean, I think it would have to be subdivided, because it would have to be around 20, wouldn't it? Because otherwise a day would end.
I don't understand, because you've got to have a sleep.
Yeah.
Because for us, you know, you're going to be extra tired, because
actually, maybe you just sleep for one of those days, like, you know, every other day you sleep that day. Yeah,
that's what
some
of
the days
in Spain and or something.
Well, you know, they have siestas, you know, they don't sort of just kip for entire days, you know, they just have the occasional rest. But what I suppose I'm saying is that, like, that there's nothing absolute about the current calendar. We could just, you know, we don't have to.
It's been made up anyway, hasn't it?
At some point it was made up. I mean, there are probably indigenous tribes untouched by civilization that just would laugh at the idea of Wednesdays. They would scoff. Wednesdays, they'd say, well, just let it go.
There's some fellas in Papua New Guinea, who do that. They don't have if you got them a diary for Christmas, they'd go, what's this?
This is risible, they'd say. This is mocking our culture.
Yeah, they don't use them.
They just cast it away, just going, and they're probably all the happier for it. Here, look, we got a text, Carl, it says, ear Russell, but it's spelled ear, like audio, ear-o, lug-o. Who sang a song with the lines, bring back hanging, bring back hanging, bring back hanging, repeated 3 or 4 times? Is it Nectarine number 9? That's from Stephen Jack from Barrow. Well, like, I don't know. Do you know?
Let's pop it out there, that's what...
That's out there now, isn't it? That bit of, like, if you know the answer to that question, could you, perhaps you can assist, text us?
64046.
Is that the number?
You got the answer, 64046, yeah.
Yeah, text us with
but also, you know, anyone who knows anything about, you know, diaries and stuff.
Well, like, and also, yeah, this decimalisation thing, whether or not it would be a good idea, like, to simplify things, you know, like, sort of how, like, we can meddle with time. Firstly, there's Doctor Who, he's a Time Lord, he meddles with it perpetually. Then, like, you know, we do have the clocks go back an hour, clocks go forward an hour, that sort of thing goes on all the time, doesn't it? So it's not like time cannot be tampered with.
But that's for farmers and that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's for the farmers. I think. I didn't realise that farmers had so much power. Like, you know, sort of like, well, it's very... What is it, because the farmers don't want to get out when it's that dark?
Yeah, but can't they just, I don't know, buy them a torch or something? I don't understand why everybody's got to change just because the farmer's getting up. Yeah, because what if the farmers start making greater demands, like, right, I think everyone should wear spangled leggings throughout the spring. Like, well, the farmer said it, get them on. Get them leggings on. Yeah. The farmer has spoken. Who is the farmer? See, I used to always think that time thing, you know, like, right, put your clocks back or whatever. Yeah. I thought that was invented for, like, watchmakers. Because... How would it benefit them? Because a lot of people break the watches around that time of year where they're trying to reset them and stuff. Right. Right? And so they guaranteed a bit of work. Yeah, they guaranteed a little bit of work. I suppose it's no more preposterous, the watch industry having that kind of power. The you know, as farmers actually have got that amount of power, as the agricultural industry. But I suppose agriculture is significant, isn't it? Like, sort of, to the Western world, agriculture is what's defined us from earlier nomadic, you know, parts of our cultural history. But watchmakers, it weren't like, you know, if you look back at human history, oh, then there was the watchmaker,
age that defined us. You know, agriculture's an important thing, so I suppose farmers, even if they do say something like, why don't we all wear clogs and get up at dawn, you know, or make it night time in the middle of the afternoon, we've got to heed the farmer. Anyway, listen, Carl, we can't just bicker on endlessly about the power of farmers. We've got a session track now. This was recorded by Primal Scream in 1994 for a Radio 1 lunchtime show. Imagine it is, and it's Trapped in a Bubble. It's Primal Scream Rocks. Guillemot's there with Trains to Brazil. This is BBC Six Music. I'm Russell Brand here with Karl Pilkington. We're standing in for Namone. Yeah, just had a bit of an awkward moment here because, like, you know, we've got a producer from BBC Music, Steph. She was in the room with us, and I thought, oh, another person in the room. I don't know if I'll be able to relax. That wasn't explained to me when I took on being a substitute teacher for Namone. I sort of had a little panic because I thought, you know, it's my first time here. You know, maybe, like, Steph being here might put me off. Also, I do like to broadcast with my trousers down sometimes, and I won't feel at liberty to do that, right? So, like, but I didn't know sort of how to say anything. It's sort of like a really difficult situation when you have to, like, sort of just confront reality, like, and sort of say, oh, well, actually, I'm not sure about it, 'cause English, of course, as well, don't like complain, oh, did you enjoy that food? There's a lovely scene in the film, his girlfriend visits him, and, like, they visit, you know, like, sort of often in prisons, in Turkish prisons, I don't know how familiar you are, Carl, there's like a glass plate between the visitor and the prisoner, and he, in his sort of delirious mental state, got her to, like, press her, you know, her boobs, up against the glass and everything, and he just sort of drooled and that, and she was sort of a bit emotional and crying.
Well, they wouldn't look that good, would they?
Pressed up against glass, I like that.
But isn't that like a robber with tights on his head? It doesn't do anyone any favours.
To distort the identity of the boob, so the boobs can remain anonymous, continue lactating into the mouths of strangers with their identity protected. No, I think it looks quite nice, like a Wonder Bra, isn't it? Like a see-through glass Wonder Bra. I think it's nice. Anyway, I feel a bit bad about sort of Steph, but like, it was, like, you know, asking Steph to go out of the room, but it was just one of those things, you know, sort of felt uncomfortable. There's a term in psychiatry, right? It's called the elephant in the room, right?
Are you having a go at her?
No, I'm not suggesting that she was a literal elephant in the room, because she's a very svelte lady. Just to, like, what it is like, the elephant in the room means, in psychiatry and therapy, it's mentioned a lot. It's like there's a very obvious thing that we're all aware of, but no one's mentioning it. Like, say you was having a conversation with a woman, she had, like, a lot of moles dangling over from her eyelid. Yeah. You'd be talking to her, you'd think, oh, don't mention them moles dangling from her eyelid, but you'd be aware of it, wouldn't you?
But isn't wouldn't it be best to say? I always think, look, you know, the woman with the moles on her face,
yeah,
she knows she's got the moles, she's probably feeling quite awkward. Like, I've got a bald head, right? And some people would go, oh, don't mention the bald head because it'll offend him, or it'll make him worried. Whereas I like to say, look, you know, I've never met you before, I've got a bald head, let's get that out of the way.
Right,
how
get
are
your cards on the table,
basically, I've got a bald head, let's move on, do you know what I mean?
Right, so it's not there sort of underneath the surface, sweltering away. Well, that's quite good, because because the elephant in the room can often be a very oppressive thing if there's something we're not talking about. Sort of like, say you know, like your relationship's breaking down, your wife's had an affair, you know, but you're just not addressing it. You know, that's going to be difficult and damaging for your relationship. It's best to have, you know, to have an open dialogue about these things. So I think, in a way, what we did, like what I did, I'll take the rap for it. It was better, wasn't it, for me to just openly say.
To do it, you left it a long time. You were sat there looking a bit odd. So I think she knew something was wrong.
Yeah, no, I sort of, I collapsed inwardly for a while, like, sort of, because I thought, oh, but now, thinking about it, I think it might be nice to have Steph back in here. Tell the truth, I'd be more comfortable with her than you staring. Also, that bald head of yours gets right on my nerves there, I've said it. Guys, all my love, Led Zeppelin. This is Russell Brand on BBC Six Music. You know, that Jimmy Page out of Led Zeppelin was all into the occult, and was mates with Aleister Crowley, the famous necromancer and occultist leader. Did you know that, Carl? Do you know anything about Aleister Crowley?
I don't know. What sort of cult do you mean?
Like, it's sort of like, ooh, dark arts. Well, Aleister Crowley's defining sort of phrase, he's like a epitaph or whatever, his favourite aphorism, maxim, was, do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. That's what he said. That should define everything.
Do what you want, right?
Do what you want. That's what he says that life should be defined by. Don't, you know, like, say if you went to Aleister Crowley and I don't know out to what degree Jimmy Page followed it, but, like, you know, presumably Jimmy Page, for the sake of argument, let's say, if you went, oh, you know, I'm thinking about, like, driving my skateboard into, like, my cousin's shins.
And he'd say, do it then.
Do it if you want. If you're going, like, I'm thinking of, like putting sort of white spirits into my fish tank.
Do it.
As soon as you thought it, you might as well do it. But then, like,
was he known for that, though? Is that his only one saying that he did?
That's his main one. That's, like, his main saying. That's
his main one. What the others that didn't get remembered? Because that isn't that good.
Well, I think that's alright. I mean, I'm not saying I'm agreeing with yeah, do what you like. I mean, I think take that, add a song that was espoused a similar ideology, and they've not gone down in history. Jimmy Page ain't queuing up to be mates with them. But, like, what I'm saying is that